It's giving lady, it's giving class, but what we needed to give is whore. Church, if Airris wasn't so cute, I'd have told that lady to slap him. I got my notes, I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this damn mess. All right, y'all. So to my returning church members, baby, welcomes. And to all my new people, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and also click that bell notification so you are notified every time I decide to upload a video. Now, baby, listen, my outfit today is serving you 80s based, prep school based realness, okay? And I am feeling good. So let's get on into it. Now, normally I start with Kirsten and Shaquille, but listen, let's start with Jasmine and Airris because they really interested me this damn video, right? So Jasmine and Airris got into the sex talk and basically started pushing boundaries. Now listen, ain't it funny how a man that you are attracted to or a man that is attractive can tell you damn near anything and you don't say much about it, okay? Listen, if it had been a lesser attractive man or Shaquille, for instance, honey, I'd have been flagging down the producers to get me Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal because I need a conference, baby, because my husband has made me feel very uncomfortable, okay? But because it's Airris and he got a slick mouth and a slick face, we let it slide. Now listen, younger me would have been like, I think the sex talk was a bit too much. But honestly, as I'm maturing and as I'm, back out in these streets, y'all know I'm back out in these streets because my last, liaison with my ex basically blew up in my face. And so since I've been dating and since I've been out in these streets, I had a dude tell me the other day, he was like, do you even like sex? Because you don't really seem like a very sexual person, right? And I had to think about it and I was like, it's not that I don't like sex. It's more so that you have to make me feel comfortable before I feel comfortable going to that level with you, okay? In the eternal words of Christina Aguilera, baby, I am a genie in a bottle. You got to rub me the right way. Oh, whoa, whoa. Let me stop before I get a copyright check, baby, okay? Christina and her people would shut down my whole little dog and pony show with the quickness. Now listen, I liked that Airris basically was so kind of flippant with the sex talk, okay? Because for most people, it's very taboo. For most people, it's something they don't talk about it. But I think it's good to kind of push her boundaries a bit and see where she is, okay? Was his approach a little bit aggressive? Slightly, but like I said, because he's attractive and easy on the eyes, she was okay with it. And she comes from a much more modest background, that churchy background, that preacher's kid background that I told y'all about, where they don't be talking about that all that much. But quiet as it's kept, the preacher's kids, the ones doing all the foo-la-la down in the damn a deacon room, down in the damn confessional, down in the damn baptismal pool. Okay, that's where you can find the preacher's kids. But let me not get on a damn tangent, right? So good for Airris for pushing the boundaries, and good for Jasmine for kind of setting the tone in terms of where she is right now and where she hopes to be. So I ain't had no problems with it. Now let's talk about Airris and his reformed F-boy ways in terms of him never being in love. Y'all, I really didn't have a problem with Airris never being in love. The man is a self-professed reformed F-boy, okay? And most reformed F-boys who are newly reformed have not been in love, okay? Because you've just been going through people one by one, okay? And as somebody who in my 20s went through so many damn people, hell, I can't even say whether or not I was in love at all, okay? And I'm 32 now. And at 32, I know for certain that I cared deeply for a lot of people, but I can't say whether or not I was truly in love, okay? And they say that the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference, right? So as far as I'm concerned, as long as that man cared a modicum about one of these girls, then you can get him to love, okay? Listen, he got the potential to get there to love. So I hate when people start making it like an all or nothing thing. Oh, you haven't been in love, so that's like the determining factor of how our relationship is going to go. No, okay? It's not a red flag, it's more of like a yellow or an orange flag. But like I said, baby, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So as long as that man cared about them prior women, you can get him to love. Now let's move on to my favorite new couple, honey, Kirsten and Shaquille. Now Kirsten and Shaquille have made their way to Jamaica now, right? And first thing I want to talk about is they finally made it to the honeymoon. But did y'all catch that it seemed like when Shaquille took Kirsten to his little dissertation thing, it didn't seem like she saw him present anything, right? Now, y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all peeped that too. But it seemed more so like she was there, but in the hotel room, but not allowed to be in the actual room where it went down. I thought that was kind of odd, because if you're trying to, like, you know, bamboozle this lady with your fringe benefits, then you want her to see your presentation. But she was asking that man, like, how did it go? Like, she wasn't actually there. So I thought that was a little bit weird. Down to this ATV ride. Y'all, I ain't had no problems with Shaquille driving himself around like he was driving Miss Daisy. Okay, listen, in the eternal words of Eddie Griffin, pain gives you a memory of what not to do in the future, okay? And that man has been through a traumatic experience down to a damn motor vehicle, okay? So I think the fact that he got on the ATV at all speaks more volumes than anything, okay? If Kirsten wants to go through the damn Jamaican jungle being speed racer, then that's her damn prerogative, okay? But the man got on the ATV and he participated in the activity, so we gonna give him credit for that, okay? Now listen, I ain't never been on an ATV, but as long as it got 4 wheels, I'm cool with it, okay? It's when it get down to 2 that I got problems, all right? So we gonna move on from there. All right, so let's talk about Kirsten relaying her lack of initial attraction. Y'all, I'm actually really happy that she did this, okay? Because there's 2 schools of thought. Do I tell him that I'm not very attracted to him, at least initially, right, and make him feel a certain kind of way, or do I keep it to myself and keep him guessing throughout the process, right? And I think even though it's the more harsher option, it's also the more honest option to actually tell the man how you're feeling, right? She said it in a very kind way. You know, I did not really have initial attraction to you at the altar, but as I'm getting to know you, as we're spending more time, I'm finding more things that I like about you, right? So it was done in a very good way, right? Nobody likes being told that they're not attractive to their partner, or they're not attractive to their potential partner, or whatever, right? But there's a way to do it in terms of a tactful response, right? Or a tactful messaging, so that you don't put the person in a feeling of, you know, feeling kind of like in a lost position, in a detriment, like they can't, you know, meet your expectations. The way she did it was very kind, in that it made him feel as if he could meet her expectations one day, or at least that's the sense I got. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if you agree. Now listen, one thing that I love about Married at First Sight, y'all, is that it allows me to live out my dreams, okay? And baby, last week, y'all know I was a judge. Well, baby, listen, this week, honey, please call me Dr. Dasher, MD, honey, okay? Because we are going straight down to the hospital. Y'all know I love me a prop. And Kirsten, please come on down to get your prescription, and baby, your damn diagnosis murder, all right? Now, Kirsten, I would like to diagnose you with PFD disorder, baby. Now, y'all may be asking, what is PFD disorder? PFD disorder is pageantry, fantasies, and delusions, okay? Now, Kirsten gone tootsie roll across our screen and tell this man that she's bad at kissing and she's never been into it. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Kirsten, I don't know who you trying to fool at this point, whether it's Shaquille, the general public, or your damn self, okay? Because all this seems to me is a clever way to keep that man at bay in terms of not asking you to kiss, or you not having to give the man a kiss for the foreseeable damn future, okay? You think you being slick, but it's a damn fool, all right? Now listen. When you are not good at something, okay, the only way you get better at it is to learn about it or to actually do it, okay? And kissing and sex is 2 things that you could read all the manuals, you could read all the books, you could read all the damn, the damn Google articles, you could take all the classes, but those are 2 things that you actually have to do to get better at, okay? So you telling the man that you're not good at kissing and you've never been into it, it seems like more of a cop-out and more, pageantry, fantasies, and damn delusions, okay? So Kirsten, we see you, and that's your damn diagnosis, all right? Now let's move on to our next point with me and these damn glasses that ain't got no damn actual prescription in it. Y'all don't be judging me, okay? Let's talk about Kirsten talking about to Shaquille down to the dinner. Talk to her, not at her, right? And that to me seemed like a little bit of a foreshadowing thing, right? Because, Shaquille is educated and he lets everybody know it. Okay, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because this whole thing in terms of their interactions in these first 5 episodes has kind of been loosely based around his education and his fringe benefits, right? But she's basically saying the best way for you to get to know me and for me to get to know you is for you to talk to me, not at me, right? I don't want you to give me a lecture. I want us to have actual back and forth conversation, right? I thought that was a really, really nice thing to say, and I thought it was pretty foreshadowing, because something tells me that just due to sometimes people with a whole bunch of book learning are life dumb, okay? And they can't talk to people normally because it's all based in their damn academia and studies and stuff like that. So I'm not calling that over Shaquille, but I could definitely see an instance where that would be the case between the two of them, okay? Kirsten, despite her issues, seems like a very simple girl, and she just wants somebody to talk to her like a real person, right? In the eternal words of Tink, baby, teach me, what does the damn song go? Treat me like somebody. Ooh, I gotta take my brain pills today. All right, y'all. Let's move on to my favorite couple after Kirsten and Shaquille. Teef and the Gordon's Fishermen, aka Gina and Clint. All right. Now listen, Gina and Clint. Listen, y'all know I keep flip-flopping in terms of my favorite couple. Last week, I was damn near on the Nicole and Chris tea. This week, I'm kind of divorcing Gina and Clint, and I'm more on the, the Jasmine and Airris tea. So we'll see. But Gina and Clint, we find out, y'all, that Gina drew first blood. Damn it, man, okay? In the eternal words of Tyra Banks, we was all rooting for you, okay? I was literally ready to pick up my damn picket sign and be like, down with Clint, down with Clint. But girl, you drew first blood, okay? And listen, let's talk about the difference here, all right? Because Gina and Kirsten did basically the same thing, but in different ways, all right? I told y'all before, there is a way to get your message across in a very tactful way, right? To not put the other person in a feeling of loss, detriment, or inadequacy, right? What Gina did was so mean-spirited that I can't take it, okay? First off, she tells the man there's not a very high level of physical chemistry between us two, at least initially, right? Then she tries to clear it up and say, I've been in situations where that hasn't been the case and that hasn't been the thing that was foremost in our minds, and we built up to it in the end, right? Now listen, I don't know whether or not this was because of these are her true feelings and how she goes about things, or whether or not it was because that butler was putting too much damn, alcohol in her damn daiquiri, but mama got very fast and footloose with her mouth, okay? Then she started going into, I really don't like gingers and stuff like that, and what else did she say to me? I really don't like gingers, and, you can't do anything about that because, that's how you present, but, like, that's how I'm feeling and stuff. Girl, like I said, I don't know if it's just your innate lack of tact or whether it's them damn alcohol daiquiris from the butler that's just making you feel that you can talk to people any kind of way, okay? Now, let's talk about the difference, all right? Because with Shaquille, yes, Kirsten was breaking hard news to the man, but the man was still receptive to it because you told it to him in a tactful way, okay? By the time Gina started, flying off the mouth in terms of you being a ginger and me not being attracted to you, okay, you could see the man completely shut down, okay? You can tell when you're in a conversation with someone who's receptive to what you're saying and when you're in a conversation with someone who has completely shut down, okay? And Clint was the latter, and I really don't blame him about it, okay? Now, furthermore, honey, I have a whole bunch of redhead friends, so I decided to do some consulting, okay? And they said that, ginger can be considered a damn derogatory term. So y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if you think that lady called him a derogatory term. I know she ain't mean it that way, but listen, she drew first blood, okay? And it was very mean-spirited. There is a way to get your message across without making that man feel inadequate or some kind of way, right? So I almost don't feel bad that, like he, came for your appearance. I guess we're seeing in the subsequent episodes in terms of what's going to happen. I'm not saying it's right on either side. I'm just saying I can understand it more when you drew first blood, okay? But let me tell y'all something. Clint messed up because he decided to give his feelings about her appearance with an audience, okay? When Gina did it, they were one-on-one. Yes, the third wall is us as the damn general public and millions of people watching it. But in the grand scheme of things, Gina telling Clint to his face with a one-on-one that she's not that attracted to him is different than Clint telling Gina how he feels about her body and her shape or whatever in front of all the other damn couples, okay? It's a difference. And the way, Gina did it was mean-spirited. She drew first blood. Nobody deserves to be kind of, put in that position of inadequacy. But 2 wrongs don't make a right and 3 rights make a left. So we gonna see what's gonna happen down to this next episode. But Gina, I'm looking at you completely sideways, mama. Completely sideways, because I was all ready to be on your team. Now let's move on to Nicole and Chris. And let's talk about Nicole making this damn statement that she may be quick to anger based on her past relationships. Y'all, another couple where I don't really feel that it's a super big issue, okay? One of my favorite things, or one of my favorite, aspects of figuring out your problems is that the number one step is to first identify the problem, right? So if mama is saying that in my past relationships, some of them have gone by the wayside because I've been quick to anger, then that's literally her identifying the issue, okay? And Nicole seems like a very smart girl, okay? I don't think she's just giving lip service. I think she's saying, I've identified this as the problem, as a kind of, foreshadowing, as a kind of, if I come off the bandwagon, don't, condemn me at first strike, Listen, 1 time is a fluke, twice is a pattern, and by 5 it's a lifestyle. So I think that Chris should definitely give her a little bit of grace, okay? She's identified the problem. She's trying to work through it. So if she should fall down in terms of 1 or 2 times, give her a pass. 3 or more, we're going to have to, have a different conversation. But I don't really think it's that big of a problem. Although Chris did say that he's dealt with this issue in past relationships and it's never worked out. But I think because she's identified the problem, I don't think it's that big of a deal because she seems to actively want to fix it and work through it, right? Now, moving on to something that actually may be a problem is this whole kids conversation. Now, y'all, I would hope that during the Married at First Sight screening process, people would kind of be very honest in terms of their feelings about children, making a family, etc., right? Because that's one thing that you really can't get past, right? If one person wants kids and one person is on the fence, or one person wants kids and one doesn't want them at all, it creates a situation where resentment can occur, right? Because if I love you and I stay with you and I'm not getting the kids, I'm always going to resent you, right? And if I leave you because of that, I'm going to be wondering whether or not I left my soulmate, the love of my life, and whether the kids conversation was that big of a deal, So it's like either way it's sliced, it's not a good situation, but you have to be on the same page regarding kids, okay? And it seems like Chris is gung-ho and Nicole is a little bit on the fence, okay? So I think the saving grace is that she's open to children so the conversation can be had. But y'all, don't wait too late because you don't want to invest, because they were like, let's revisit this in a year. A year is far too damn long, okay, to revisit it then in terms of whether or not you want kids. By a year, you already feeling this person, you in love or damn near, you planning your life with this person you see in the future, and the whole kids thing can kind of definitely derail that, okay? So like I said, I think it's the saving grace that she's open to children. I just hope that that open leads more to a yes, more so than a maybe or if it happens, because you don't want somebody to be ambiguous in terms of their feelings on kids. And it seems like with Nicole, it's more rooted in her career, right? Because I always tell people, whenever you have children, the conversation is no longer about you anymore, okay? The conversation and the focus shifts to the children. So if you're not ready for that to happen, then be honest from the get-go, right? Because by the time you get to damn decision day and stuff, he really needs to know whether or not you're okay with potentially having kids in the future. And it has to lean more to yes than a maybe or we'll think about it. Now let's move on to Domynique and Mackinley, and let's talk about Mackinley and his dad jokes. Y'all, the more and more Mackinley and Domynique interact, the more and more corny Mackinley becomes to me. Okay, and y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if I'm making too much of it, but it just seems with all his dad jokes and his corny vibes that he's kind of making the difference in age between the two of them get even larger, right? Because I don't know if the jokes are meant to connect, meant to show his personality, or some combination of the two. But humor, I was talking to my friend about this the other day. Humor is very important in relationships, and we were talking about it in the vein of texting, right? Like, to me, as a millennial, texting is very important, right? And my texts are very emotional. They can be very detailed, and I want you to respond with the same level of detail, right? And if you have a partner that's not responding in that same level of detail, or doesn't understand your communication style or what you need, it can create a kind of chasm between the two of y'all in terms of communication, right? And to me, that's what we're kind of seeing with Domynique and Mackinley. And I don't know if it's a conversation of the difference in age or simply a difference in personality, right? Now listen, it's not a problem as long as Domynique is with it. And for now, I can't tell whether she's okay with it or whether or not she's just going along to get along. But we shall see if his dad jokes turn her off after a while, because he kind of does lead into that whole corny vibe, right? He's a nice guy, he's just corny. And how often than not have we seen, baby, that just because the man is nice, just because the man, has a good personality, it does not mean that he is the right man for you, okay? Now let's move on. To the topic of he's not the outdoorsy, rugged type, and she was talking about, do I have to bait your hook? Y'all, if the whole dad jokes and the corny personality don't turn Domynique off after a while, or Dominique's lack of maturity in terms of signing up for the damn process her damn self versus her mom signing her up for the damn process don't condemn their relationship, one thing that may is the fact that she wanted a more outdoorsy, rugged type dude, and that doesn't really seem to be what Mackinley is giving, okay? Nothing is wrong with that. I learned from a very young age, baby, despite being gay, I am not the gay that's handy. Like, I can't build you a shed, okay? I can't work with my hands. I used to work at an art and framing place, baby. I almost cut my damn finger off, okay? That's not my ministry, all right? So when Domynique was asking that man, if I take you fishing, will I have to bait your hook? Mackinley, just say yes, okay? Just say yes, because your lies and your hemming and hawing, and I'm an outdoorsy man, I'm a fisherman, I'm a boatman. It just seemed like I might have to prescribe you with that damn, a prescription I gave to Kirsten, okay? Pageantry, fantasies, and delusions, okay? Keep playing around, okay? And y'all gonna share that damn prognosis. But listen, I find with people, the best thing that you can do is just be honest, okay? And I think the saving grace between Domynique and Mackinley, in terms of the outdoorsy, rugged person that she wanted and who he is that he is willing to try these activities. Now, y'all can realize that the man complains or kind of narrates his feelings during it a bit much for my liking, but at least he's not so standoffish to it that he doesn't do the activity at all, right? He'll do the activity, he'll just let you know how he feels about it while he's doing it, okay? So y'all could work on that. Now, y'all, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about on this episode. So if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, always remember that there is a way to get your point across without being mean-spirited. There's another person on the other end of your words. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.